I believe we are live right here on the channel, talking about cryptocurrencies, talking about every single thing that's going on in the world of crypto today on Black Friday, discount day, I guess. I wonder, what else should I be buying today that's like in a good ass freaking situation? I thought in my head, like, oh, I'm going to buy this and that and this and that. What did I turn out buying? Kind of like nothing. I kind of forgot to go through with it. And that's, again, the thing. It doesn't matter how good you do in life. A good discount is always a good discount. I'm there with you, brother. I mean, a charger is either, let's say, $17 or $14. I prefer when it's $14. I don't know. All right, it doesn't really matter that much, but a good deal is a good deal, and I like to take them whenever I can. You know, it just stays in you, I guess. It's just that little getting the best deal possible. I just noticed that now on Black Friday that even I get pulled in. But you always got to be careful that you don't accidentally buy something that's been marked up like crazy, huh? Anyway, so today, some interesting manipulation has slipped through the cracks. That's the best way I can describe it. Something has happened today, and I will show you in clear detail why this is, in my opinion, a continuous or continued manipulated effort. And again, whether or not this is necessarily to dump the markets, you can definitely discuss, or we can definitely discuss. But at least one thing is very, very clear. What's happening right here, I'm going to consider this to be one of the most interesting manipulation efforts in a while. And again, this comes about 1 month after the second craziest manipulation effort. And I think we will have a very, very interesting video here. But at the start, I should quickly mention this, at least the most interesting event of today by far. Let me quickly refresh everything so we get everything clear and straight. And also, let me quickly see, if you're watching this right now, make sure you quickly press that like button or let me know something in the chat box so I see that you're actually here. Let me press live. Let me quickly see if somebody's in the chat already. I think today probably no notification for most of the people because I'm streaming at a random spot, but that doesn't matter, right? The true people will show up anyway, so I'm all happy. We got Cyberhawk, yo. We got RO saying what up. We got Silky saying they'll never shake me out. I love you guys. Cyber says nope, no notification, nope. Hey, that's why I always appreciate you guys stopping by and saying hi at these random ass times, because I don't know how exactly you find it or how exactly you get here, but you know, I at least appreciate you stopping by saying hi. Let me quickly post this on YouTube that we're streaming, and then we can go from there. Let me also post it in Discord, I guess. Now, by the way, one thing I've not talked to you guys about too much is how I recommend you to join the Discord. And this is not actually because it's the best place in the world. It will become that, I think. But it's mostly because when I'm thinking about it, this channel had a big issue yesterday, right? If you do not know, my video got taken down. And if you get a strike, that also means you can't upload for a week, 𝗷𝗶𝘀𝗧𝗐𝗑. Now, the problem here is, if my channel all of a sudden goes away, where are you going to find me? And a lot of people don't have any secondary place. That's why I always say, if you're in the Discord or you're following me over on X or TikTok or Instagram, or you joined the Telegram, at least you have a second point for in case you still want to get the update videos or something like that. Because I can always post them on a secondary platform, but you may not find it there. Which is why I say, hey, if you've not joined them yet, make sure you join them. And I'm going to quickly also put in the Telegram that we are live. I'm going to have to start a whole routine of things. Like, for example, always sharing it in Telegram whenever I go live and that type of stuff. And now I'm going to say, there we go. I should add it to say we're live right now. And again, if you're wondering why I'm not talking about anything just quite yet, I always wait a few minutes for some people to hop on in. Otherwise, I'm going to have to explain the exact same story 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So I always like try to wait a few minutes at the start. There we go. All right. So this is checked. Discord, first, one of the links in the description down below. You can find it. Let me also edit this to say we're live right now. There we go. All right. Perfect. Perfect. So that's all set in stone. Posted it on Twitter. We're good. Start another channel just in case. Fun fact, if one of your channels gets banned, officially, you're not allowed to make another channel. So if their AI is able to detect that I'm on 2, they will actually ban the other one too. However, a way to prevent this is if you just get a strike, you can actually just delete all the videos on your main channel and just start posting on a new one. But I think I've got too much pride to delete all my videos. I prefer to go down with my ship than delete them, if you get my drift. Because I've been working on this channel for what, 15, 16 years? I can't do that. So I'll have to go down my ship. But then again, YouTube always seems to rectify their mistake, but sometimes it just takes a bit of time. Regardless, let's dive into some of the news, because I think it is about time. So here we go. First of all, a little bit of interesting news for today. The stock market futures have been halted due to a cooling issue at a data center for the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So that is actually quite interesting. A CME issue here today, Stock market futures have been halted due to a cooling issue at the data centers of for the CME. Chicago Mercantile Exchange says the stock market futures and options trading will reopen at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time after an 8+ hour disruption, which again is very, very severe. But to us, crypto people, I don't think this matters too much. Let me also quickly again say, ladies and gentlemen, nothing I say in this stream is financial advice. All we're talking about here is the news that's going on in the crypto realm, the news that's going on in finance, sometimes my thoughts on the matter, sometimes about my own personal investments. None of this is financial advice. It's just information, perhaps entertainment. We're talking about news. We're talking about my coins and what I think is wise. But at the end of the day, everything you do is your own choice. I'm not advocating for everything, all right? If I talk about a platform I use, it's because I personally use it, and I think it's pretty good. But again, you make your own choices and all that. Everything here is just for entertainment and informational purposes. Nothing is advice. Hopefully that is clear. Even if it may sound to you like some, it's not, because it's just my thoughts, and I'm just a random person on the internet, and that's what you know, right? All right, so there we go from that. So this was, I think, the biggest news for our stocks or whatever today. However, then again, how will stocks be impacted? Not too much. I've seen a lot of data come out over the past 24 hours that could be interesting, but you can see nothing has gotten as many views as this CME disruption here. Alternative data shows U.S. layoffs are surging. Job cuts tracked by MacroEdge jumped plus 70.6 thousand month over month in October to 154,000, the highest in the last 2 years. Monthly job cuts have now exceeded 100,000 for the 5th time this year. At the same time, layoffs announcements compiled by Challenger Gray spiked, plus 99,000 to 153,000, the highest since March. And this also marks the highest monthly number for any October in 22 years. All while employees notified of mass layoffs via warn notices, tracked by Revelio, rose 11.9 thousand in the last month to 43.6 thousand, the second highest in at least 2 years. So, as it stands, U.S. layoffs are accelerating. Now, why is that? Relevant? All right, here we go. Let me actually quickly put the comments on stage so we can see all the comments that you guys are posting. As we always do, whenever we're starting a stream, let me know in the chat box where you're watching from. And Joe says, do you have any longs in? My brother, this is not who you're talking to, all right? If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm the king of longs. Not really in the grand scheme of things, but if I... What's going on? If I don't have a long open, that... Quickly refresh this. I was going to say, if I don't have some crazy longs open... It is true. Whoa, 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 whoa. So Bitcoin just now, 3 minutes ago, went to 92.6. Fun fact, my BTC long got stopped out today. You see, I bought during this pump with a pretty tight stop loss, and we got wrecked on that. But yeah, it could have actually been nice to open one again. However, mind you, that this is just Blowfin, just one platform. My main longs are on other platforms, and I'm very suspicious. I'm very spread out right now. I don't like to say that way, but I have money on every platform now with crazy different numbers and all that. And most of them are still at a loss, but some of them are starting to do well again. For example, XRP over on Bybit is in a positive. We're up about 100% on that trade. Hopefully you can see that. BTC is still down tremendously there too, about 100% down. Matter of fact, you can't see, but it doesn't matter because I opened that at 100K. We're actually 120 or something like that, but if we've been buying down. Matter of fact, I should be buying even more right now. Whoa, no, we're going too high. Wait, what? We're 92.1. I thought it was 91 point something. No. So let's buy some more futures. Let's add a bit more. I've added every single day to my BTC spot position. And you may call that stupid, but recently here, I've been feeling the urge of just having more BTC. And this is, again, coming from a very privileged position that I don't mind the fact that it's going to give me less gains until the market confirms itself. Like, for good markets, I really despise BTC because it's just too slow. But in bad markets, it's the only thing I think that is just easy to hold without too much headache. And so I'm trying to basically buy myself a good chunk every single day, just continuously, just easy does it. And I'm trying to also at the same time lower my average price for my BTC longs, etc. But primarily, I'm trying to focus on just getting myself more and more spot. Also because I've got enough money just laying around here that I can use that with, that is not doing anything right now. And why not? Well, because I got scared like a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, not a few months ago, and I actually sold a lot of my top altcoins. Also because I've been trying to, it's a different strategy for a different day, I guess. Regardless, if you're looking for a new platform to trade on, the one I mostly use is Blowfin. Link for that is down below. You get yourself a really, really nice position airdrop right now. And somebody said in the chat box he's waiting for a price to go down. I'll say one more thing to that. I actually kind of hope for 𝗕𝗓𝗃 to come back down. On the opposite side, I kind of, realistically, hope for it to take out some higher points, have a good little pump going before it comes back down. Like as it currently stands, I kind of hope we see, for example, a $2.60 before potentially another major crash. But suppose, if we're being serious, we prefer to see $2.70 or something like that, because if we take out these previous tops, or just, I guess, literally at least $2.55, we're breaking that little structure of just moving downwards. And the same thing applies to BTC. We talked about this before, where if we do not break above, let's call it 102, 103, I don't think we're necessarily in the best of spots. But on the low end, as long as we don't come back to $78,000, we should. You guys didn't tell me I'm so huge right now. There we go, like this. As long as we do not break below, I'm going to say about 77,000, we should also still be in a good position. Also, I've been buying more and more stocks. Don't ask me necessarily why. There's a couple good ones, and my analyst will come on a bit later. Most likely, if you guys are still here, you can ask him about some of the stocks he's talking about that we should be at least looking into. And let's quickly go on with this. Are we ready? We have 100 people watching right now. I think we're ready to talk about the manipulation, right? Guys, you are the core, all right? If you're watching this right now, you are the literal most valued people in my stream, all right? Like the top 100 people in my entire 600,000 people audience. You guys right here are the real crew, the real ones. You've got my heart. If you've not done it yet, make sure you press that like button, because again, you're a real one. Help out the channel. It doesn't give me any money if you're afraid of that. Again, I make zero schmeckles off of this most of the time. A whole stream here will earn me probably a few dollars, maybe $6, something like that. It's not for money. You guys understand that by now, hopefully. Make sure you press that like button. It doesn't give me anything. All it does is hopefully make the stream a bit better by showing it to more people. I am not 100% sure that it does that, but if you can help in that way, because again, it might, why not if you're watching this anyway? And again, I ask because if I don't, even if I'm watching a stream, I never think about it. But if he's like, hey, please help out, and I like the stream, I will press that button. That's why I'm asking. Right? Regardless, we got to cover this little piece first before we cover the mass manipulation. I thought it was interesting. Mr. Orange Man, again, having another opinion like this.
For the next couple of years.
Oh, you guys can't see, of course. Give me a second. Let me put it in right there. Now you can see. There we go. All right. Nice and tidy.
For the next couple of years, I think we'll substantially be cutting, and maybe cutting out completely, but we'll be cutting income tax. Could be almost completely cutting it, because the money we're taking in is going to be so large. And yet other countries who have been ripping us off for many, many years, and many years they've just been ripping us to shreds. For the next couple.
Mr. Orange Man, huh? Yep. Sorry, by the way, at the same time, I'm just buying every single thing here still. Like, you can't call me delusional for buying Sol, for buying BTC, or for buying ETH. Even MNT I've been buying a lot of. But the core principle there being, if I just stack up like a maniac, sure, on the short term I may hate myself, but I think over a prolonged period of time, it's going to be hard for this to fail. And I'm still on the short term more bullish than bearish. It's just that I'm not so sure if we've taken out the bottom, all right? But on the short term, I think I'm quite comfy just accumulating here. Especially, oh, by the way, about 30 more minutes until stock market open, I guess, and interesting things can happen there. It's going to be open for a shortened duration today, but I just want to watch the open. I don't actually want to watch the entire movement of the stock market. Just only open, see if something crazy happens because of no trading yesterday, and that'll be mostly about it. Let's see here real quick. So the manipulation, let's cover it. Also, Roshan says, can you launch a giveaway? Yeah, so what I'm going to do, by the way, I'm going to probably do 2 forms, maybe 3 forms of giveaways, with the primary one being over in Discord for now. I think maybe we're just going to start with $100 a week or $100 every 2 weeks, something like that. Because I can make budgets for it, but the results need to show. And what do I mean with that? Well, it's nice to help people. Very much so, because the whole channel here, a lot of it started because I want a giveaway. However, I must also admit that if I'm just sending up money to the void, there needs to be something in return, I personally feel, right? There's nothing for nothing. And so I could say just, I'm giving back. Well, I like to. However, I also remember that when I won that thing, what was I doing? I was supporting the crap out of that guy. And I really it kind of felt like a reward for trying so hard, right? So it felt better to me than just randomly getting some money. I think it feels different. So what I always want is to at least have some sort of exchange of value. And my value that I want in order for people to win something is just them either being active or really them trying to achieve something. Again, look back at myself. Now, right? If somebody's like, oh, you want $20? I'll be like, maybe I don't really care for it so much anymore. I mean, 20, I'll still think you're 20. But to go back to that time, I had no way to buy crypto. I had no way to get myself in. I must think there's a lot of people watching this, maybe not today, but there's a lot of people in there who could really use $15, $25, $50. But I also want them to kind of try for it so you can see the motivation right there. So I want people to just be active in Discord or active on Twitter or active on somewhere. And of course, it's absolutely free. There's no requirement. You don't need to pay anything. Somebody says, I'd rather get a course in day trading. Well, got some cool things coming up shortly. Anyway, we got Mr. Crypto in here, my boy. Welcome. So I remember having a stream with our boy not too long ago. That was good stuff. We should do that again soon, boss. Mr. Crypto's the GOAT, for all of you that do not know. Yeah, but today, interesting day. And talking about this manipulation like I wanted to talk about, here it goes. All right, guys, if you're not done yet, make sure you press that like button. It's clear at this point that crypto is being attacked, and the weapon is the rating and index agencies. First, it was MicroStrategy being attacked by MSCI, and then now is Tether being attacked by the S&P. How to downgrade a 4% over-collateralized stablecoin that is holding 5% of its assets in BTC and the vast majority in gold and UST bills, as actually they're the #1 largest independent holder of gold, non-governmental, holder of gold. And for some reason, they just got downgraded. Now, it's kind of sketchy to me because out of all the companies, Tether seemed to have gotten the most amount of legitimacy recently in terms of a stablecoin thing because of the fact they're over-collateralized and because of all the scrutiny they received before. It's really, really hard to dig your heels into Tether and say they're doing something really, really bad. Because again, 5% of assets in BTC, 4% over-collateralized, and mostly UST bills and gold. Like, where exactly can this go wrong is a question I've personally got. And so from that angle, why did they downgrade it so significantly? Why did they think that was a good idea? What happened? Again, I'm not saying they shouldn't have a lower rating. I'm just saying why downgrade, especially at a time like this when crypto is already so turbulent. And you can ask the question similarly with MicroStrategy being attacked, because essentially, these are all coincidences to happen on exactly these dates. Like Trump coming out with the most significant announcement on the 10th of October. For some reason, exactly that day, they get this situation going on. And now, really, when liquidity is so thin and people are so uncertain about where cryptos are going next, all of a sudden now they go for a downgrade? Like, that is kind of strange to me. Again, it could be a coincidence. I'm just saying it's kind of strange. Let's see here real quick. I'm also seeing a couple of comments. That's why I'm quickly going through. Somebody says, I joined to Discord. Perfect. Make sure you say something. And all I need is just some more actual... This is going to sound kind of strange, but all I need is just some more activity in the Discord so I can actually see who's active and who's trying and stuff like that. And hopefully we can reward a lot of people every week, right? Could be cool. So good you joined Discord. Nederland, lekker grap. Silver was on the verge of a breakout and CME just halted. Might be even more manipulation there, huh? I'm looking for a discount on wine. All right, I'm not sure exactly why that is. I guess somebody says XRP is like wine, so maybe you're looking for that. Somebody says, I enjoy listening to your free analysis. Knowledge is cash one day. In theory, knowledge is cash every single day. However, it just depends on what type of form you're looking at it for. Like the way I personally see it is every single day you're in the crypto market, you're one day closer to something great. Why? Well, because essentially crypto has always, thus far, been to the right and upwards, meaning over time it's gone up in price. Same for the S&P, same for any one of these sectors. So essentially, if you take this step to buy, this is again not advice, I'm just stating facts here. If you've taken the time to buy, get knowledgeable about it, get yourself up to date with the news and these undergoing trends or whatever, you're theoretically speaking just involving yourself more in a sector that has proven itself to always go up. Look at S&P, look at gold. They have thus far always gone up because they're basically at all-time highs, and cryptos as well. They're slightly down now, but over the grand scheme of things. And so every single second you spend in this area, theoretically speaking, it should get better or it goes to zero. And since I refuse to believe that this is the time where we go to zero, it should just continue to get better. And by that logic, well, all we got to do is just lock in, get ourselves, more comfy, learn more, and through that sheer piece of logic, we should also accumulate or make more or get more or something along those lines, right? At least for me, that's been working that way. Even if I'm not necessarily buying, as long as I'm learning something new every single day, I try to also get myself into these new protocols and new things just to learn how this crypto stuff works, because I think two things are definitely going to stay around. One is AI, it's only going to get bigger. And second is these decentralized things. So the more I'm putting myself into it, the more I'm learning about it, the more relevant of a position I will have in the near future when this stuff inevitably, in my opinion, continues to grow. And right now, everything in the economy can be shitty and be bad. But if we're involved with these cryptocurrency things, theoretically speaking, we have like an inverse correlation to it in theory. In reality, not so much, but we should have it. Anyway, some more. Global central banks are pivoting. Over 90% of developed and emerging central banks have cut rates or kept them the same over the last 6 months, near the highest since the 2020 pandemic. In other words, less than 10% of the world's central banks have recently hiked their rates. This percentage has persisted above 90% for 12 months. Such an elevated reading has been seen only a few times over the last 35 years. And over the last 2 years, global central banks have cut rates 316 times, the highest reading in the last in at least 25 years. To put this into perspective, there were 313 cumulative cuts in 2008-2010 in response to the financial crises. Global monetary policy is easing. I kind of wonder how you go for 313 cuts in such a short period of time. Like, what? That is crazy. Everybody was in consensus, huh? That's actually interesting how huge that was then at that time. This is a bit earlier, just I guess early this night. So for US, I'm going to say evening last night. US stock market futures rise with the S&P 500 on track for a 5-day win streak. Obviously, market not open, but still interesting. Credit application rejection rates are soaring. The overall rejection rate for U.S. credit applications is up to, I don't care about this too much, 25% over the past 12 months. Credit is becoming harder to access. Yeah, this is not really my forte. This one is interesting, though, I guess. The U.S. economy is now built on AI. If you spent a few minutes using the Google's new features, man, Gemini is starting to become good. ChatGPT is starting to become a bit in comparison. Gemini is so good right now. But regardless of that, I have two more funny things in a second. The U.S. economy is now built on AI. U.S. private non-residential fixed real investment in data centers has soared plus 300% over the last 3 years. During the same period, inflation-adjusted non-residential investment in structures excluding data centers has barely seen any growth. These are offices, shopping centers, hotels, warehouses, factories, manufacturing facilities, and other commercial buildings. Meanwhile, AI-related spending has contributed 62.5% or 1 percentage point to the 1.6% U.S. GDP growth in the first 6 months of 2025. Without AI, the U.S. would be in a recession. Well, not necessarily, but potentially close to it. At least from another angle, we are now getting a funny question popping up. Remember when people were saying that Bitcoin was such a bad thing for the world because of electricity? I wonder how now they're going to think about it when it comes to AI, because obviously it's going to be the number one most usage for electricity not too far from now, maybe even now already. And I saw a comment just here saying electricity generation, all of a sudden how fast things are going, but relatively mostly for China over the last 25 years. like a tenfold over the past 25 years, whereas the US has stayed relatively stable with slight inclines. So it's actually kind of peculiar how that is growing so fast, or different reporting numbers, but I'm going to say that it's just increasing so much. And actually posts like this made me realize maybe, just maybe, all we have to do is just get into freaking data centers. Skip all other things, right? Don't go to work no more. Just try to get yourself a piece of a data center and just live off that, huh? Don't get a house no more, get a data center. I mean, it could be as easy as that. Anyway, so I'll quickly, I've bookmarked it. I was going to also show you this one. Jim Cramer says, it may be a tough day for the Bears and the environs, maybe? Environs, is that a word? I don't know. Perhaps it is. Maybe a tough day for all the Bears everywhere. And here's the funny thing. Jim Cramer, remember that he literally turned freaking bearish the moment that Bitcoin hit 81,000. Still kind of funny to me how that happened. Anyway, we got our boy in here today. Of course, if you guys have been watching for a while, you know that we also have an analyst coming in sometimes to say some words about the market. And since we have the open of the stock market in about 20, and today being an interesting day with Bitcoin actually hitting almost $93,000. By the way, if you're looking for a platform to trade, the first link down below is Blowfin. Make sure you check that out. With today being an interesting day for Bitcoin as we hit above 92 points. Not even sure what price we hit anymore. Highest point, 92 for now. We hit about, let's see here, 92.6 on this exchange. I think even higher on some others. We also got our analyst here coming in today, giving some thoughts on the market. So I'm going to head him up to the stage. There we go. They can hear you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me put
I think you need to mute you.
Yep. Coming up. There we go. This should be okay now.
Yes, test. Okay, perfect. So first and foremost,
and again, we're gonna give our man here a nice little warm applause. Woo! And he shall be giving his analysis on BTC, XRP, and potentially something else. Let's see how that goes. So can I put your screen up there?
Yes, sir. You may.
All right, my boy.
All right.
Give him the freaking, give him the rundown on how to. No, let's not do any of that. I was gonna say some line, but I don't want to incriminate myself anymore after or the back from last night.
No,
that was no, from the YouTube the ones.
Sure thing. All right. So, BTC. Last stream, you guys, I still came with 2 scenarios, and I still have 2 scenarios for you. So, to sum it up, scenario 1, what we have spoken about, is the fact that we have predicted that this is actually the lowest area when it comes to Bitcoin. So, this is the final wave of the correction before continuing up bullish. And the question that rose up was, when do you have scenario 1? When do you have scenario 2? We'll get into that once again. So scenario 1, again, I'm mostly calculating this through Elliott wave strategy, which says that there are, I'm just going to pull it up again. There are 5 waves, 3 impulsive and 2 corrective. The 2 correctives are always the even numbers, and the ones that are impulsive are always uneven. Usually, wave 3 is the most impulsive, and I can show you a wave 3 which is quite obviously a wave 3, for example, an impulse like this, that you have just a continuing push and then finally a correction. Wave 3 is always the biggest wave. And the rule is that wave 3 is 1.618 Fibonacci of wave 1. So here we arrive at scenario number 2, which actually says that wave 3, as I said, is 1.618 Fibonacci of wave 1. Then we take wave 1, put it on wave 2, and then actually, according to the textbook theory, it would mean that wave 3 is actually finishing here inside our support zone, which would mean that we still have to finish wave 4, which would presumably somewhere close to the 50 EMA where we are right now. and that we are in fact not going up for now, but first we're going down even further before continuing up. So that is scenario number 2. Scenario number 1 that I just popped up on my screen is the fact that wave 3 is actually shorter because it doesn't have to be textbook all the time. And that in fact wave 5 has already finished and that we're only going to continue upwards. So when do I believe it is scenario 1? When do I think it's scenario 2? Well, we are in the 50 EMA right now, which is the blue line over here. What I want to see is more impulsive, bullish movement. This is not enough. And as we have said last time in previous stream, is that we want to have a more clear, it's my drawing tool not working. We want to have a clear push, then a pullback to retest the zone, which is usually, becoming a support zone. And then afterwards, what I really want to see is I want to see another push breaking that previous high. And that for me gives more confluence and a belief to say that, okay, there is a higher chance that we are in fact experiencing scenario number 1 rather than 2. So that is Bitcoin. So let's dive into the XRP charts over here. Well, I'm not going to repeat myself. Just to sum it up,
I'm going to interrupt you for just 1 second. I see somebody say that silver is at an all-time high.
Silver at an all-time high.
I just remember I shared one piece of information last week. Let me quickly see here. Let me see if I can find it. Last week, we talked about this. Silver still looks relatively cheap despite the historic rally. The gold to silver ratio is now above 80 points on our annual basis, near the highest level since the 1980s. This is 2.6 standard deviations above its long-term historical mean, according to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏. This ratio has been above this threshold for 5 years since 2020. By comparison, during the 1930s and the 1980s, it was 3 and 2 years respectively. To simply put it, silver remains historically cheap relative to gold. History suggests silver may catch up to gold soon. And I guess now that became a reality then throughout the little piece of time here. So this is about 17 November, so I'm going to say 10 days ago. But I've not checked the chart to see how silver has been doing recently here. Perhaps it was already doing well at that point as well. Can't remember all the way. And somebody says chop all the way to the chopper. I thought he was talking about copper the whole time. I thought he was excited. I thought he's like a copper bull in the chat. I was like, damn, I've not checked the copper price in years, man.
Get to the copper.
Like people out here trading copper? Really? That's amazing. But yeah, so I'm not really trading silver too much. I have silver, but not in a trading format, really. Just like gold. I mostly just accumulate gold, not really trade gold. But interesting to note, though. Anyway, so please
accumulate gold, but not trade gold. Damn.
Well, I mean, so I would consider it if my goal is to sell. It's the same for like the S&P and whatnot. I'm not an S&P type of trader. I just like to buy and mostly have it. You know, yeah, I was gonna say something else. I like to buy, have it, and hold.
Be careful now.
I like to buy, have it, hold in my position as it was promised to me. Just having it is nice. But yeah, with silver, I have kind of the same. I'm not really a big trader of it at all. Yeah, I'm seeing everybody post now about silver all-time high. Can you pull up a silver chart? What is the freaking ticker for silver?
I never check out silver. I know gold, but something similar, I think. So
yeah, TradingView silver. This is the boys in 𝗂𝗓𝗔, right? Let me quickly see if it's there.
Back to the roots, my guys.
Let me see if I can pull it up here. I think it's 𝗂𝗓𝗔. What do you have?
𝗂𝗓𝗔, huh?
Yeah, but then
silver 𝗂𝗓𝗔 USD. Yeah, I have it.
There we go. Woo! So hey, quickly for fun, let's see how it's going from 17 November when I made a video about it till now.
17 November.
November, brother. Where are you going?
I thought last year you were talking about. Never mind.
No. Like 10 days ago.
Well, let's say we closed here.
Can you go to like a 4? Can you go to a 4 hour? Oh man, you go into that 4 hours like wizard speed. Anyway, let's not discuss that. 17th. Oh,
So
my
we
boy.
have ended here.
Yeah, but this was posted 17:06 p.m. So I probably made the video 11 p.m. maybe the next day. Oh, this is nice. It's pretty good then.
So
How
let's
much are we
say
up from there?
something like this. Around
10%.
10%.
That's pretty good.
So
It's pretty good on
solid.
silver.
It's solid.
That's pretty nice. Silver's doing
Yeah,
good.
personally, I don't trade it, but it's a very interesting pair because silver was so undervalued for such a long time, actually. Because the rally, well, careful now. Well, it was still this year that we've gone up so much because it was just sideways action, and then this just that's solid gains. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a
How
lot
much
of
is that?
stocks that you can get that type of return. This is all within 1 year.
Wait,
So let's say
100%?
Well, not exactly, but no, 90%.
I mean, 90% is 100%, brother. That's fine. It's the same. This is
No,
this
it's
year.
not.
It's
So
it's
0%
basically
is 10%.
brother. Don't do me like that, brother. Come on now. I mean, it's doubled basically. All right, we're almost doubled. Damn. Somebody says I scrapped copper for real 3 years with my uncle. You scrapped copper for 3 years with your uncle, or what does that mean? Or is it like the punishment was 3 years with your uncle? Otherwise, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm getting that.
Scrapping copper. It could be from any type of material. Just scrapping off the copper and selling
I
it.
just go around to strip from buildings and then go
Buildings and
buy
then buy
crack.
crack rocks.
Oh shit! Maybe I should have not said that one. My mate made 10K by trading gold every single week. Well, nice for him, brother. Theoretically speaking, if he's making that every single week, shouldn't he up his game and just make more every week? Like, how are you
10K in a week is
consistently making the
solid.
same amount every week? That's like bad if you think about it. I mean, the money is okay, but it's kind of bad if it stays like this. How's there no incline in that? Yeah, regardless, my boy, you had your XRP thoughts, right? Because, I mean, we know that silver was undervalued. I guess not as much no more. So how about XRP? How's XRP looking?
Well, XRP is still looking very juicy.
Oh,
Why?
juicy.
Juicy. Why?
What do we got?
It's still inside this channel. For some of you, I don't want to tire you guys out by just repeating everything the same, but it's just one big corrective pattern. The way that's been going down is so perfectly gradual within the channel. We have went out here, right? Not so long time ago. And what was the reaction? Well, we immediately went back in because for a lot of people who were watching the analysis was, oh my God, we're going down. We're going out of the channel. We're going bearish. And price said, not today. Not today. So it was a clear fake out. And actually on my chart, it was the end of the correction of wave 1. So after finishing wave 1, we have to arrive at wave 3, which is the most impulsive wave. So that is in fact what I'm still waiting for. And why I believe that either this weekend, or upcoming week, we're going to see some real liquidity and volume and volatility, everything what you want to say, is going to enter the market. Why? Yeah, everything. I'm going to name everything. Why? Because if you look at this price action, and if you zoom in also, this is, again, sideways price action. And what is always the thing with sideways price action? When it's going up like this, it's charging up for the next move. And the next move is always going to be a breakout. And a breakout is always aggressive. So you might have a fake out here and there, sure, lure some people into the wrong direction. But with sideways PA like this, it's always going to be an impulsive move. And we have the momentum right now. If we zoom out, it's still bullish. If we zoom in, it's bullish. So on a multi-time frame scale, which is essential in most technical analyses, I would say, from a personal note, is key. And when they all align, you have stacked all the confluences in your favor. So that's why I still thoroughly believe, from my own personal opinion, that we're going to see some real action upcoming days or next upcoming week. So
I just saw now a new announcement. I'm not sure if this is new. I think it's like an hour old. Breaking news: Trump says he will keep stocks at an all-time highs. I love my boy.
He has the power to do so. I mean, well, what's interesting is that next Fed meeting is going to be quite interesting. Of course, now everybody assumes, like 2 weeks ago, everybody was panicking, of course, but now it's more clear that they're going to decrease the rate by around 25 base points. So that's also very bullish, but it is not so surprising anymore. So I highly doubt that we're going to see like a massive price action, because it's, if it was very unclear, and he suddenly still lowers it, then you're going to have that real impulsive move on everything, on every market. But because the probability is around 75% right now, I wouldn't say that it's going to cause such a massive bull run. Of course, I might be wrong, but in my experience, usually when it's already clear where we are heading, we're not going to have such a huge reaction. Of course, we hope so, but got to stay realistic from time to time. So yeah, basically that is XRP. Yes, what do you want to say, Dusty?
I said got something else. Just saw
Yes.
new manipulation allegations. And again, we got 6 more minutes left until the open. The world's markets didn't crash from a cyber attack. They froze because silicon got too hot. At 3 a.m. GMT today, 90% of the global derivatives trading stopped. Not hacked, not manipulated. Well, the cooling systems failed at a single data center in Illinois, Chicago, I guess, or Illinois somewhere. Let that satisfy for a moment. All right, let it marinate in your brain. The CME Group, which prices everything from treasury bonds to crude oil to the S&P 500, went dark because the machines that run global finance exceeded the thermal limits. So he's literally saying it got too hot. The heat generated by computation overwhelmed the capacity to reject it. This is not a glitch. This is structural warning. The numbers tell us the story. U.S. data centers consumed 183 terawatt hours of electricity in 2024. That's not that much. More than 4% of national consumption, equivalent to Pakistan's entire annual demand. Nice, Pakistan mentioned. By 2030, this doubles to 426 terawatt hours. AI workloads are growing at 30% annually. Every watt becomes heat, and every server needs cooling. Is this a cooling ad? I don't know. This infrastructure was built for 2015. The demands are from 2025. I counter that by saying data centers are so hot. I don't know if that necessarily is true, that they've only been built for 2015. Again, many new ones are popping up every single day because that's the hottest business right now. We just established it at the start of the video. We have reached the thermodynamic ceiling of centralized finance. The CME sold this data center in 2016 for 130 mil and leased it back. When the cooling failed, they owned nothing. They controlled nothing. They waited, like the rest of us, for daddy to fix the pipes. 90% of global derivative volume frozen by physics. Treasure futures offline. Energy markets dark. Agriculture pricing halted from Chicago to KL, Kuala Lumpur. The lesson is simple and profound. The limit of financial transaction throughput is not code efficiency, it's heat rejection capacity. We built the engine of global price discovery on silicon that melts. The future demands distribution, redundancy, architectural transformation, or we wait for the next failure. Perhaps not a quiet holiday, but in the crisis, when every minute of darkness compounds into catastrophe, the thermodynamic ceiling is here. What we build next determines everything. Ready for the full story. And I thought he was going to place a little ad here for like thermal cooling. Buy now, we'll get one free or something like that. But no, he did not. So I guess he's being serious about this, which is kind of funny to me. I mean, there's a lot of speculation going on right now that this was not anything to do with all that. It was just to stop silver from going insane. I've seen a lot of the posts on the side while Arnie here was talking. I see a lot of posts here talking about the fact that silver was about to go crazy and they manipulated the crap out of it. Interesting, huh?
What can I say? After reading this, all I'm gonna say, I'm very bullish on coal.
on coal?
I'm bullish on coal. Coal, yeah, that's it. Going back to the coal power plants, my guys.
Is there? How do we? Let's see. Coal ticker. I've never in my life looked up.
I think you could trade.
Brother,
coal,
we trade everything. All right, trading. Everything is getting traded for sure. But let's see here. On Trading Economics, I found the coal ETF at 109. All right, so I found that at least. Yeah, I think this is fine. It's not TradingView, but it will do the job. TradingView or like Economic Calendar has all of them, or Trading Economics. Let me quickly put it into the list of things. is impossible for some reason. There we go. So here you see it's a little list of everything, like soybeans, copper, which is also doing good, by the way. And here's coal.
Why is it on USDT?
I think USD over time, maybe.
Yeah.
But I can't really see that. Oh, here we go. 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, bullish. That's
Oh,
it.
damn. I didn't know things were so good back then, huh? Is that where the war popped up or something?
Yeah. Well, 24th of February, I think, Ukrainian war started.
Yeah, I mean, but it's been doing good slightly before that, though. But that's like, I guess, from when the peak. Is it
Yeah, when like the
2022,
sanctions kicked in and the price, because supply was just limited,
Fair.
and the price just went out of the roof.
Fair. Imagine longing that. Okay, so we got a few more seconds till stock market open, by the way. And that's also when we're ending it off. But let's quickly see.
Yeah,
here.
fresh back in the chat. He's actually correct. Apart from the joke we're making the call, it's indeed the infrastructure. I think most developed in the sense of developed countries who have such huge demanding infrastructures are facing the same problems.
Lads. I think now it should be starting, right? This is the minute.
All right. So you have BTC. I have XRP ready. S&P actually. Okay. Let's see what the market opening is gonna bring us today. Or less population. Cough, cough. Well. I mean, fertility numbers are declining in most Western. I saw a chart one day. It's actually a fun fact. Nigeria birthed more people than the entire European continent. That was crazy.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. Actually.
Oh, open green.
Okay.
Open green. BTC also doing pretty good. You have BTC open, my boy, or which one do you have open?
I have XRP right now. I can change to BTC.
Let me see.
1 minute. BTC, well, we opened with a nice red candle.
Oh, okay.
Sticky one.
That's a sticky
but
one.
But again, we haven't touched upon BTC so much because if we... Actually, we did, of course, but XRP, actually. It's because I still suspect price to actually go a bit lower, and I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that bearish guy, you know. Where the hell is my arrow? I still think this is a real possibility. Why? Because we still haven't made a pullback to the 0.382.
Alphabet up pretty good.
Yeah, Alphabet is going it's going crazy right now.
BTC 92.7. Yeah. Hey, wait, 1 minute ago, my BTC chart spiked to 93.1. Are you seeing that too?
93.1? You sure?
Yeah, on my chart, Bitcoin spiked to 93.1 just now. 1 minute ago.
Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah, and Alphabet doing some crazy good numbers. BTC on the up and up. Let's see. So I'm gonna have to head out, but do you still want to give some analysis and you can just end it off?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's fine. We can continue for a minute or five.
Yeah. I'll leave the stage to you, my good sir.
All right then. Peace. Yeah. So Bitcoin, it's looking like we had this red candle. Nothing particular, nothing special at the moment. Let me see. ETH. It's all a bit the same right now. XRP. Stable. Nothing crazy happening right now.
I was going to say that. I'm thinking about it. Guys, if you've not pressed that like button yet, this is like a disgrace. All right, we've been going for about an hour. Things are getting heated. All right, things are getting steamy, hot, sweaty. Nice. Make sure you press that. I'm not sure why I'm doing that sometimes, but I'm doing too much. Make sure you press that like button if you haven't done it yet. We've got 150 people watching. We've had almost 800 people stop by and say hi. Make sure you press that like button. We can instantly get to at least 100 likes if everybody presses that button right now. And silver apparently just keeps on going is what I'm seeing. That is nice.
So too much, my guy. Like it up, fam. Yeah. Anyway, so Bitcoin looking quite stable right now. I don't know what this thing doing over here. Are any of you guys holding normal stocks as well? Because we can get over them as well if you're interested. I can go over some of my stocks that I'm actually holding as well. Perhaps you guys might be inspired to check them out. I can show one that has been doing pretty good for me. It's actually a gaming company. It's called PDX. I think it's been bumping like 15% for the last 2 days. But let's not focus on that for now. So yeah, the outlook for XRP, in my humble opinion, is still that we might go lower, because we have basically finished the first wave. Let's remove all these drawings because it's looking quite terrible right now. So yeah, my bias remains that we're actually going to make a deeper push towards the 200 EMA before continuing up, because we have going sideways as well. So we could see that impulsive bearish movement downwards, but not for long, because we have still the higher bullish trend going on. Woohoo, 55. How bullish are you on XRP for the coming month? Well, on a personal level, I feel like December could really surprise us. I think that we could still have, Santa Claus is going to give us some gifts here and there. That's my bias, honestly speaking. I'm not going to be that guy and say, yeah, guys and girls, we're going to go to $12 this December. We're going to see a mega push or whatever. But I think $3 is certainly possible this December. And that's like a bare minimum if we continue to be bullish. That's like the minimum. We could go higher, of course, but if we continue bullish at this pace, then $3 is certainly very, very possible. And beyond that, it's just a bonus, honestly. But that's my personal opinion here. Anyway, let's see. So I want to hear from you guys. What's like the main crypto that you are holding right now? Just share it with me. I'm very curious. Because for me, I'm mostly holding XRP, ETH, and Bitcoin, holding some other things as well. But I would love to hear from you guys. Hi, Dusty. I begged you to take profit at 3.6. Well, Dusty is not here, unfortunately, so I cannot answer there. XRP, of course. Sasha. Parameters BTC, XRP, ETH. All right, same like me. H bar, solid. BTC, XRP, root. Okay. So nothing very exotic, I can say. But yeah, XRP, my man, XRP. 55 silver. Let's check out silver, actually. That was XAG, I believe. Yeah. Yes. Okay, then. We're really pumping on silver. That's crazy. So 1%, 1.6 for the day right now, which is solid. How are the tech stocks looking, my guys? AMD slightly recovering, still a bit skeptical. I'm holding AMD myself as well, but I still view the long-term vision as key. NVIDIA, same story. Some other ones, ASML, also a favorite of mine, doing actually better than NVIDIA and AMD. Another one which is also very underrated. If you guys are interested in a very underrated tech stock, I would certainly advise you, on a personal level, of course, this is not financial advice, to check out CoreWeave. CoreWeave still has, in my humble opinion, a lot of potential to make some big gains. And actually, the biggest investor in CoreWeave is NVIDIA. So if you have faith in NVIDIA, then CoreWeave is certainly going to profit from that as well. Let's dive into XRP again. Still looking quite the same. Let's see, small plus 55%. Does silver hitting highs like this effort crypto market. Not sure what you mean there, brother. The silver hitting highs like this. Like, does it benefit the crypto market? I would say not really, honestly. Not really. It doesn't really have such a strong connection with the crypto market, but uh, again, that's my opinion there on the matter. ETH and XRP when the next dip comes. Fair. So you're waiting for some discounted prices. That's a fair assessment. XRP, CRO, and SUI are my biggest holds, but I have a lot of others. Well, having a lot of others is always a positive thing because you're still diversifying your risk. So nothing wrong with that. Sold ADA, small portfolio, not really, unless money starts rotating into crypto. Okay, so we have a careful trader there. It's also still wise. I sold my ADA. Can't really have a strong opinion about that. I'm not really checking out ADA. Your take on Palantir? Palantir, yeah. So Palantir is one of these stocks. I think Palantir is going nowhere. I think Palantir is definitely here to stay because of the methods they are using and the solutions that they are providing for governments. And as I think that surveillance in the West is certainly only going to be increased over time. I think Palantir, even in that regard, because they're not, of course, doing the AI surveillance stuff. That's not the only thing that they're doing. They're doing a lot of other things. I think just from that aspect, I think they already have a lot of orders in the future. Another aspect, of course, they're really into the military sphere. Of course, for some that might be unethical. For some, it's no problem. But I have heard reports that they're really revolutionizing their AI in weaponry also because they're learning a lot from the Ukrainian battlefield. Unfortunately, in my opinion, because I think that's a very sad thing what's happening right now. But so they really have the edge on AI and military technology as well. And as we know, that market now is very, very bullish. So that being said, just from these two perspectives, I would say that Palantir is definitely here to stay, and I really see Palantir going up a lot more than where it is right now. Let's see. Why stop to the liquidity at lower level need to be taken now? Depends. You got FET? No. Can you look at Stronghold SA? Stronghold SAX. I'm not sure what you're all about, brother. Stronghold. Stronghold SAX. And what was your question in regards to that? I seen it was pumping crazy. Well, it's certainly pumping. I wouldn't say like, well, actually, we take it from the low. Well, that's a very good return, I would say. But to be very honest, I don't know anything about this. Not really, no. I'm not really into the alt coins as of now, but yeah, it's looking quite interesting. But note, after such an impulse, the general technical rule will always be, because to me, I automatically see this as like an Elliott wave structure in my head. This impulsive wave is 100% wave 3. If that is right here finished, then still one should expect a correction to at least the 0.382. That's a textbook example. So anybody holding this, prepare for a correction in that regards. But yeah, let's not focus too much on this pair. Let's check out Bitcoin actually. So we have quite the rejection here. We hit briefly 93.1 and we have been going down. Just to zoom out, we're still fighting over which scenario it is gonna be. So scenario number 1 or scenario number 2, which says that wave 3 is here, wave 4 is, well, should be right here because we expect something to happen at the 50 EMA. And we're certainly not seeing anything bullish right now from the from the rejection. Oops. So scenario 2 would be this one. So we're going to see wait and see what's gonna happen. Let's see. Can you? Let's read the chat for a second, guys. What about Flare? Can you look at some Flare? I'll check out Flare in a minute. Can you sell old crypto wallets through CD4? I'm not sure about that, Nicole. Marcus, what is your YouTube? I do not have a YouTube, Sasha. I am partnered and I'm part of the DustyBC team. They put a developer in prison for 5 years for creating a private Bitcoin wallet. You will have no privacy anymore. Well. I think that's an interesting topic to go over with in next stream, because there's some things that we can discuss in regards to that. But I'll put it on hold for now. Law docs. You think Michael Burry will win his short position? Wow. Will he win his short position? You know what the thing is with Mr. Burry? What can I say? He's a very respectable man, of course, for what he did, and of course, most famously when he shorted the 2008 market crash. But I think he's very wrong here, and I'll tell you why. Of course, he really takes. He doesn't look at it from a technical perspective. That's one thing that people need to understand. He doesn't have some magic ball that he can take in his hands and just say, okay, you know what? It's looking a bit overextended. I'm gonna put a huge order right now, a huge sell order, and because I feel like he's looking a lot of macroeconomic things, and he had it right, sure, but did he predict the economic crash from COVID? And did he predict a certain market crash in certain stocks from when the Russia-Ukrainian war started? There's countless of examples. So people like to zoom in on the successes he had, and still I respect him for that, because I got to give credit where credit is due. But honestly speaking, I think he's very wrong here, and it's a very broad topic that you have to go into. But I'll move that to next time as well, because it's certainly interesting to talk about him. Just let me read the chat right here. I have to scroll back. Whoa, I'm late, stupid. YouTube didn't give me any notification that was live. Hello, Terminator. Hello, Riding with Beats. My guy, how are you doing? New mark seem to be back normal. He has a helicopter. Yeah, guys, what can I say? Well, it depends on how many likes we have, if I'm going to go back into that helicopter or not. We have 76 likes, guys. If we have 100 likes, I will transform into Arnold, and I will address you in this voice, in my original voice from Austria. But if we don't, then I unfortunately have to remain Marcus, my guys. I have been shorting Palantir and Nvidia since Burry saw the bubble. The returns have been nice so far. Well, first and foremost, congratulations. I'm happy you're running into profits. I would say just be careful. Just be very careful, because it's such a big market, and I believe the tech market is the only reason why we're seeing GDP growth, which is quite insane. So it's a big risk. It's a really big risk, and if you're already running into profit, then I would really consider taking something. And that's, again, no financial advice, because you know how this works, guys. But I would certainly think about it. Can you do Cardano, boss? We'll get into that for after Cardano. I'm not really into Cardano as well, honestly speaking. Let's take this one from Binance. Cardano. Well, I'm just going to look at it from not a fundamental point of view, because I'm just going to get into the technicals. Cardano, well, let's just briefly go over it. Normally, when you do a multi-time frame analysis, you're going to take your time, but I'm on a bit of a speed run right here. So we had this huge impulse right here, and some sideways action. Well, from a higher perspective, this can take many, many weeks and months, honestly, to recover. But generally speaking, is that if we're going to see new highs and new impulses on BTC, XRP, and ETH, etc., on the main pairs, where the main money is flowing, crypto-wise, I think we're going to see some reaction from Cardano as well. But the way we are going down here, and I really want to take my time checking this because I know you're one of the real ones riding. So we have been going down for a long time. The first thing that I can say, generally speaking, that price at one point has to come back to the 200 EMA. And for a very long time, we have completely traded below that. From a technical perspective, at one point, price has to go there again. This can take some weeks, this can take this, but I think that is an important thing. The way we have been going down is still gradual. It isn't very aggressive. So I think there's still some potential for somewhat of a rebound in regards to Cardano. I would say maximum target for this year to return if XRP, ETH, and other pairs don't go too wild. Well, could be something like 0.73, because that's like the top of the bearish continuation here. But let's not dive too deep into that. Let's read some other stuff. What do you think of Jack Claver and everything he's been saying about XRP? Could a reverse carry trade with Japan really? But I haven't really followed him, to be honest. I've heard some things here and there, but I don't want to speculate because I don't know the full claims he made. So I'm gonna not go over that because I don't want to give you guys a take when I'm not perfectly informed, because that's none of my business. I only want to give my take on topics that I'm informed enough about. It won't pump the price before it's yes, but Perry is correct. History doesn't repeat itself, but that's the rhyme and the charts that are repeating the previous. Hope you and Dusty are well. Thank you very much. I am well as well. Dusty is just doing something, and I think he's gonna come back to industry later. I have to go somewhere as well in not such a long time. 22 more likes. Nvidia will recover, take profits. That crack had 80 more likes. So we are right now at how many likes, you guys? It doesn't really matter, but if you guys want to have some Arnold fun, then please bring this to 100 likes. And let's dive back into crypto for now. XRP is still, well, sideways continuation, nothing special. So nothing crazy that we have to observe here. Wow, seeing some rejections right now. So if we zoom in on the M1, it's actually looking a little bit red, so to say. But yeah, well, the thing is with ETH, because we haven't gone over ETH, right? No, I don't think we have done that. So it's basically the same with Bitcoin in regards to how it's been going down. Another thing that's very interesting on ETH is that if you zoom out, I'll read the chat in a minute because I cannot do that at the same time, unfortunately, you guys. So because my second screen is broken, unfortunately. That's a whole different story. So on the higher time frame as well, we've been seeing that we went back, made this huge impulse correction. We're now at the 161.8 Fibonacci. So that is certainly a very strong area where we could see some reversals. And I still believe that we're going to see this reversal. The only question is this going to be the low, the real low, before we're going to continue upwards? Or is it just going to be a temporarily pullback, a limited reaction? And my take on is that the minimum target that we will have as a pullback in the next coming weeks is going to be around 3,300, 3,400, something like this. And then we're going to observe price action very thoroughly and see where we're going to head up from that point onwards. So that is that. Silver all-time high. Lol, we really at WAR. I don't want to say it out loud because YouTube is very strange with AI. Friends with, if you guys are ever in Vancouver, Canada, hit me up. I run a small nightclub with my DJ buddies. Thought I'd toss that out here. Thank you, Bobby, for that invitation. I will certainly keep that in mind if I ever visit Canada. So let's actually, for the last remainder of the live stream, I'm very curious about you guys, you know. So where are you all from? I'm sure you already shared that at the beginning of the chat, but at the beginning of the stream, but I wasn't there. But please let me know. I'm very curious. It's always nice to see some diversity here in the chat from so many people across the world, you know, all together, because they're all so dedicated when it comes to crypto. And of course, they are here because they're loyal watchers. So we have London, Quebec, Boston, another London there, Brooklyn, East New York, France, London. I see a lot of London here. That's quite interesting. Any other places? Italy. Here we go. Where in Italy exactly? Mirko. I will come to see you at your nightclub next year. Hopefully, after that, make money in Australia. Very interesting. G. That is Nigeria, I believe. Welcome, welcome. Orange Lions. I believe you mean the Netherlands. Norway. Katrine, welcome. Minneapolis. That's how you pronounce it, like Minneapolis, yeah. Minneapolis in Minnesota, I believe, right? I'm not American, so don't judge me, please. But Muskoka, Ontario, Canada. OKC. I'm not sure what that is, Dinero. Please enlighten me. Tuscany. Oh, I've been there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place indeed. What up, world? All right. Ulster. Ulster. That is in, let me see, that is in Ireland, right? Ulster is in Ireland. Yes, I believe so. Or in the north of Ireland, Northern Ireland. Excuse me. Idaho, Oklahoma City in Oklahoma. Welcome, brother. It's a new one for me. OKC, Oklahoma City. I'll remember that one. UK, yes, well done. Yes. I'm very careful here because for some, it's a very sensitive topic. Northern Ireland. Correction there. I believe Dusty is coming back in a minute. Let's just check out. So. ETH, still no change. Bitcoin, absolutely rejecting right now. It's looking quite sticky. As I say, you know, we're still waiting for scenario 1 or 2. And the way things are looking at the 50 EMA is that if we're rejecting here already, it's looking a bit sticky. So for now, scenario 2 is still a legitimate scenario. Let me see. You guys in the UK gotta get your together. Arnold, quick question, but when do you think we will top? You have mentioned in the yes. Arnold, when do you think we will top? Well, when we will top? It depends which pair, brother. Depends which pair, of course. Depends on that. Again, Dusty and I are definitely going to bring some new content to the channel because I'm working very, very hard to bring you guys a different type of live stream as well, which is actually going to be trading live streams where I would be trading live with you guys. No delay, no private broker. Well, you know, there's a lot of tricks these fraudsters are making.
Oh, yeah?
And we're definitely cooking something up for you guys.
Oi.
Hello, Dusty. Riding altcoins. We haven't got that euphoria yet or anything close to it. altcoins. Well, Dusty, maybe that's an interesting question for you because you're more into the altcoins and to more say it from a
How does one do
non-technical
this?
perspective.
How do I lose an? Oh shit! I got your way. How do I lose an AirPod in a 1x1 environment? How does this?
In a
how can this
1x1
officially
environment, brother, are you in a C container?
What do you say?
Are you in a C container 1x1?
No, am I on my way down like the freaking? What's that thing called again? The
Don't
one that
worry,
completely-
Sasha. It's. I'm not gonna do that. Absolutely not. Yes.
What was that? What was that thing called again? The one, the submarine that kind of went kaput.
U-boat, right?
U-boat. That doesn't
Like
sound right.
The German U-boat, right? What do you mean?
Brother, I'm talking about that little tin ass freaking thing that collapsed, the carbon thing
Oh.
that they.
Oh, like where the billionaires went.
Yes,
on,
this
yeah.
the billionaire submarine. What was the thing called?
German U-boat.
Ocean. It's like,
What's wrong with me?
It's like
What's
you're
wrong
for
with me?
sure wrong. Let's see. It was called Ocean Gate Titan. Okay, I see.
Ocean. Okay.
Oh yeah, those were me. No, I'm not in that. I'm not as claustrophobic, but I did lose one AirPod for sure, which is very, very confusing to me because again, I've not left this little 1x1. Ah, hey, there we go. All right, we got it.
See,
So anyway, how did the conversation go while it was gone? Did you get anything done in the meantime? Did anything interesting happen? Did a price shoot up? Did they ask about the stocks?
yeah, Bitcoin just hit the 110K. Actually, if you check it out.
That would be funny, huh? Imagine I leave for like a few minutes and all of a sudden Bitcoin just makes the craziest skyrocket ever. Brother, I don't even know what I would do then. Like, I don't know if I would cry or be happy or be sad if I missed
Well, I
that.
assume you would be happy, right?
President Trump says he will keep the stock market at all-time highs and calls for the market hot with a big boost for 401ks.
I don't know if he's gonna hold something.
Hold the line! Let's see here real
I
quick.
don't know if he's gonna hold something deadly, pointing towards Powell, but I don't know what he has in mind.
I
Of
mean,
course,
he
his
has a lot
tweets are
of
gonna have a huge,
negative things for that guy in mind. That's the funniest video I've ever seen in my life. That one, like, yeah, it just came in, 3 billion. Yeah, it just came in. Yeah, just came in. President Trump says he will keep the stock market at all-time highs and calls for the market hot with a big boost for 401ks. The S&P 500 rises to levels just 1.3% away from a new record high. That's pretty good. Silver prices are now 5.5 times higher than the S&P 500 year to date in the middle of the biggest technological revolution since the internet. Asset
Silver
owners
is
continue to
crazy.
win. Man, I just want to.
We just checked it out as well. Silver was say G. Yeah,
I want to ape silver just from looking at this. I mean, silver's in such a good spot. What is it at now?
55.1.
Oh, it's above 55 now as well.
yeah,
huh? Oh, my
we keep
days.
bumping actually when market opened.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a huge. That's very bullish. That's very bullish.
That's ridiculous.
You know what? We should actually do one live stream where we just talk in crypto terms. You know, we've talked about this before, but how we just say, well, that's good, that's nice. We just, oh, that's bearish, that's bullish.
Yeah, we could do that.
I invite you guys, if you have a girlfriend at home, for a girl, boyfriend, whatever, go up to them and just talk pure crypto. Let's see how they react. We're going to say, oh, darling, how was your day? Was it bullish or bearish? Let's see how they respond to that.
Did you get a? Oh yeah. Did you find good support? Oh, rejection. Oh, I don't know. Is that a new launch? But I mean, there's a lot of scenarios where you can use those things for.
Yeah. Imagine you sit on a date. You have the perfect date, and then all of a sudden somebody switches. It says like, "So how was the date for you?" You know, I think it was quite bullish. You know, I think that
Brother,
first
this
I felt like
is
a
my
rejection,
vocabulary,
a
brother.
fake out, and then we had
Yeah,
the
almost.
streamer.
She attempted a fake out, but luckily we found support. All right, we're able to break through that resistance and end up with an extremely bullish end result, brother. Tomorrow's session, probably interesting opening. You know, we're going into it with the bullish bias.
I'm reaching an inflection point in my life. Damn.
Oh, but fair. I'm thinking of candles, and anyway, who cares? Today, interesting day in the markets, nonetheless. Interesting day. Pretty green, pretty nice. I always like green. Always nicer to have a green opening than a red opening, I guess. I mean, not fully
Well,
true,
it's
but I mean.
it's
By the way, lads, if you've not done it yet and you want to trade cryptos, Link down below. You get yourself a nice little bonus over on this exchange. It's the one I'm using personally, so you may want to check that out. Link is down below for that. Coal. That's what our boy's been talking about before. I will remind you of one more thing. If you ever look at this video and think, Dusty, you're a freaking moron. Or Mr. Arnold, you're a freaking moron. Remember one very, very crucial thing here, my friends. If you think we're wrong, if you think it's stupid, hey, we're very, very blessed to be in the world of finance, where if you think somebody's full of crap, you go against their grain, do the exact opposite of what they say or whatever, and you should be winning. Because theoretically speaking, that's the game here, right?
See you later, Sasha. Sorry.
All right. Peace out to Sasha. He's been, they were an interesting show up today. All right, real core. Had most, I think, #1 most words said in the chat. Maybe just behind Bobby. I don't know. Bobby is like a freaking trooper. Maybe you can't beat him. Oh no, Sasha's #1 for sure today. Sasha was #1. 𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏 #3. Who's #2 today?
My day has been consolidating since yesterday. You can interpret that in 2 ways, by the way.
Here's a little rundown for today. Oh man, I have to do it like this again, huh? Like always. I don't know why my MacBook always does this to me. Anyway, I was going to say this is the rundown for today. The most loyal ones today have been Sasha, Roy, Grown Wild, Bobby, RTP. There we go. The boys. All right, the man them. Appreciate you all stopping by and saying hi. You guys have been very much appreciated. And I shall say that I don't want to bore you guys with neutral market territory. The craziness has already faltered. I mean, right now for XRP, for almost any coin probably, we're waiting for that little break of sorts, right? We're waiting for the next moment, the next dopamine hit to happen. Not this second. We're at 92.1 again. Slowly but surely, we're crawling back upwards. If something crazy happens, ladies and gentlemen, we will for sure be back with another update. Today, I guess it was pretty crazy that we got above 93 because it showcases a lot of those bearish results, a lot of those bearish analysts got invalidated. Then again, my own thoughts were we're going to hit at least $93,000, $94,000 before potentially making that move down lower. Why? If everybody is screaming for a top at 93, even though I'm very much against believing the masses, you have to be cautious at these levels. Then again, because we've only got the massive date of the 10th of December coming up, this could be a massive buy the rumor, sell the news event that we actually pump into the event or close to it before another interesting sell-off. It will be interesting to take that. Anyway, so Perry here says, Dusty, maybe you can answer this. What's your take on 𝗕𝗓𝗪 and his reverse carry trade? I covered the reverse carry trade yesterday or the day before in an extensive video. So maybe check that one out. It's about the, I don't know. I think it was the day before yesterday. Maybe, yeah. No, the day before yesterday, probably. 26th, 2 days ago. So it should be on my channel really, really fresh. It's a whole video dedicated about the reverse carry trade. Actually, it's about the carry trade and by that logic, the reverse carry trade. Unless this is something really specific that I have no idea for. But I have no idea who 𝗕𝗓𝗪. Do you know who 𝗕𝗓𝗪 is supposed to be? Let's see. Is it a
Silver won't stop.
CEO of DAG? No, I have no idea who this guy's supposed to be, my brother. So,
we're actually the pump is actually continuing on silver. It's 55.3 right now, something like that. Just went a bit lower. It's very interesting.
To get back to you, no idea who 𝗕𝗓𝗪 is. No idea if he's predicting a crazy price is what you're saying now. You know what, Puri, give me the rundown. What did he say? Actually, you know, I'll give you the mic for a second. I want to know now.
𝗕𝗓𝗪 is sergeant in the XRP army.
Super speculator
slash gapper.
All right. I'll probably not agree with him then, but let's see. Give your thoughts, my good sir. Says 750. All right. I think we've established enough here. 750 end of the year for XRP. I think I don't think words are necessary for this one, my brothers and sisters. I think
750. How many times does the market cap has to go?
750 rupees is possible, brother. Oh, $7.50. I mean, that's $7.50 if we get really lucky, but it's probably not. But you know, you can't. Theoretically speaking, it can happen in the clip of an eye. I told you before, we went from 50 cents to $3 in 28 days. We've right now got, again, let's say 33 days before the end of the year. It's possible. However, if you're talking about likeliness, I mean, it did a 6x, I think, back then within 1 month. Can it do a 3x within 1 month? Sure, it can. but you need some pretty massive run to happen. Can it happen? Sure. But am I going to be waiting for it? Not necessarily. However, if push comes to shove, it would be really funny if all of a sudden we are back above like $10. What if all of a sudden we're above $10 a coin, huh, this month? Or I guess next month. It would be really, really fun. But again, probably not. But, you know, never say never. And if he's saying this will happen, he's probably an idiot or lying to you. But if he's saying, hey, there's a chance for it, well, there is a chance for it. So he's not wrong. However, I'm not going to be...
From that regard, he isn't wrong right now, yeah, but...
I'm not going to be sitting on my hands for that. Is this silver?
Yes.
Silver, man. Regardless, boys, I'm going to say that was it for today's little crypto update. We did about 1.5 hours. As I told you before, we do a stream almost every single day. Thus far, we've been doing it pretty consistently. And a lot of you guys have been stopping by and saying hi every single day. I appreciate that. Just know, right, you guys are amazing. If you want another place to chat and have some fun discussions, fun talks, Discord. Link is down below to Discord.
We're active in Discord. We're talking there. So when we're not streaming, we guys, we can also communicate. It's absolutely no problem because we want to engage with you. We want to, as you are spending your time with us, we also want to spend some time with you guys.
All right, I've linked the Discord so you can check it out if you want to.
𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗃, Dusty, you and Marcus are great. The UK trends community loves you. Come join us.
All right, enough. Today's video was nice. You guys were. I don't want to. No, don't even get me started, brother. This is no.